Welcome to today's video, where we'll be exploring the 1997 Liberty Quarter Dollar with the D Mint mark, a coin that carries both historical importance and everyday significance. Though this coin may appear ordinary to some, in circulated condition it holds a story shaped by time, usage, and the people who have passed it along. The Liberty Quarter Dollar from 1997 is part of the Washington Quarter Series, which first began in 1932. The series was originally created to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first president of the United States. Over the years, the Washington Quarter became a staple in American coinage, representing strength, leadership, and the nation's history. The 1997 issue carries on this legacy, and coins struck at the Denver Mint are marked with a small D Mint mark just to the right of Washington's ponytail. This mint mark identifies the coin's origin and helps collectors trace the history of the piece, giving each quarter its own unique identity depending on where it was struck. On the obverse of the coin, we see the familiar portrait of George Washington designed by sculptor John Flanagan. His profile faces left, with a dignified and commanding expression that has become iconic in American coinage. In circulated condition, these details may be softened by wear, yet the essence of the portrait remains. Around the portrait, the inscriptions include Liberty at the top, In God We Trust to the left, and 1997 at the bottom. These words are part of the identity of the coin, serving as both design elements and reflections of the nation's values and heritage. The reverse of the coin features the heraldic eagle, a design that was used on Washington quarters from 1932 until 1998. The eagle, with its wings spread wide, clutches arrows in one talon and an olive branch in the other, symbolizing both strength and the desire for peace. Above the eagle appears the phrase, United States of America, with E pluribus unum inscribed just below, and quarter dollar at the bottom. In circulated condition, much of the luster may have faded, and scratches or marks may appear across the surfaces. But this wear only adds character to the coin, reminding us that it has lived a long life in commerce, passing through countless hands over the years. Every mark, every bit of wear tells a story of daily life. Perhaps this coin was used to pay for groceries, buy fuel, or even given as change in a small-town shop. Its journey through time is a silent witness to countless transactions and interactions. The year 1997 was significant in U.S. coinage history, as it was the final year before the launch of the state quarters program in 1999. Coins like this one represent the end of an era, where the eagle reverse design had become a familiar sight for more than 60 years. For collectors, circulated coins like this may not carry high monetary value, but they hold strong historical and sentimental importance. They bridge the gap between the early Washington quarters and the newer designs that came with the state quarter program. The Denver Mint, represented by the D Mint mark, struck millions of these coins. While they are common, each circulated piece has its own unique wear pattern, making no two coins exactly alike in their appearance. Examining the coin in circulated condition also gives us an appreciation of its durability. Made from a copper-nickel-clad composition, the quarter is designed to withstand heavy use, and even after decades, the designs remain identifiable and meaningful. Holding this coin in your hand, you can feel the weight of history. Though it may not be a rare or high-value collectible, it carries the spirit of everyday America, a reminder of the people who relied on it for everyday purchases. The symbolism of the eagle on the reverse cannot be overstated. It embodies national pride, unity, and resilience. Even when the details are softened through circulation, the boldness of the eagle remains evident. For many people, coins like this are the first introduction to history in their pocket. Children might receive them as allowance or find them while learning to count, unknowingly holding a piece of national heritage. The circulated condition of the 1997 quarter also connects it to its role as money, not just as a collectible. It wasn't hidden away or preserved, but instead fulfilled its purpose in daily commerce. Collectors often see beauty in circulated coins because they reveal how currency interacts with life. Unlike uncirculated coins that remain untouched, circulated pieces feel more human, more connected to stories. This quarter also represents continuity. From 1932 until 1998, Americans grew up with this design, and the 1997 issue is one of the last examples before the changeover. The Denver Mint played a vital role in keeping these coins in supply across the western United States. Many of these 1997 D quarters found their way into circulation quickly, serving communities from cities to rural areas. The copper core of the coin, revealed only at the edges, contrasts with the silver-colored surface. Over time, circulated coins often develop darker tones, giving them a more rustic appearance. Even in circulated condition, the inscriptions remain legible. Liberty, In God We Trust, and E Pluribus Unum are enduring reminders of the values carried by American coinage. The Washington quarter has always been more than just money. It has been a patriotic emblem. The 1997 D is no exception, carrying with it both history and symbolism. As collectors and enthusiasts, it's important to remember that value is not always measured in dollars. Sometimes, the true worth lies in the history, the design, and the role the coin has played in people's lives. This coin, though circulated, invites us to reflect on how something so small can carry so much meaning. Its presence in everyday life makes it a part of America's collective story. Whether admired by collectors or simply passed along in change, the 1997 Liberty Quarter Dollar with the D Mint mark remains a coin of character, history, and identity. For some, it might just be another coin. But for those who pause to look closer, it's a reminder of the artistry and heritage built into even the simplest objects we encounter. The 1997 Liberty Quarter Dollar with the Denver Mint mark. A coin like this might appear simple at first glance, but when you pause to reflect, it becomes a doorway into history, culture, and everyday American life. The Washington quarter has been one of the most familiar coins in American pockets for decades. By 1997, it had already seen over 60 years of service, and this particular issue was among the final coins before the United States moved to the state quarters program in 1999. That makes the 1997 quarter particularly significant. It was one of the last years the heraldic eagle reverse design would be used, an image that had defined the series since the beginning. The eagle, bold and strong, symbolized the strength of the nation. Even when softened by circulation, its outstretched wings and fierce stance remind us of America's enduring resilience. In circulated condition, the coin takes on a certain charm that uncirculated examples lack. The softened details, the light scratches, and the faded luster speak to its life as a working coin. Each mark is like a small chapter in its story. Perhaps it was used at a grocery store, in a vending machine, or even passed along as change in a diner. These everyday moments give the coin a connection to real people. When examining the obverse, Washington's portrait is still commanding. Even with wear, his strong profile endures, continuing to represent leadership and legacy. The inscriptions around his portrait remain legible, though in circulated examples they may be less sharp. Still, they stand as reminders of America's values: liberty, trust in God, and national identity. The D Mint mark is a subtle yet important feature. Struck in Denver, these coins traveled widely across the western United States, serving countless communities. For collectors, the Mint mark tells us not just where the coin was made, but often where it might have circulated most heavily. Denver coins have their own stories distinct from those struck in Philadelphia. Holding a 1997 D quarter today is holding a link to the everyday economy of the late 1990s. It circulated during a time when payphones still took coins, when vending machines and laundromats relied heavily on quarters. This context makes the coin more than just metal. It's a reminder of how daily life once operated, with cash and coins playing central roles in commerce. The copper-nickel-clad composition of the coin was chosen for durability. Even after years of circulation, the design elements remain recognizable, a testament to the strength of its construction. Over time, coins like this develop a patina that gives them character. The shine may be gone, but in its place is a warm lived-in appearance that collectors often find appealing. The eagle clutching arrows and an olive branch sends a timeless message. The nation is prepared for defense but always seeks peace. In circulated coins, this balance of power and diplomacy still shines through. For many Americans, quarters like this are tied to childhood memories. They might recall saving them for arcade games, sodas, or even their first small purchases. These coins also played an important role in teaching young people about money. Parents and grandparents passed them down as pocket change, unknowingly passing down history as well. When we reflect on a circulated coin, we see not just wear but evidence of its purpose fulfilled. This quarter did exactly what it was made to do: serve as money for everyday transactions. Unlike uncirculated coins that never left storage, circulated coins have lived a life. Their imperfections give them personality and make them relatable. The 1997 D quarter also sits on the edge of transition. Just 2 years later, the state quarters would debut, forever changing how Americans viewed their coinage. This makes the 1997 issue one of the last, classic Washington quarters. It represents the end of a long era in American coin design. Collectors today value these quarters not for rarity, but for their role in bridging two chapters of history. They link the traditional eagle reverse with the more diverse state designs that followed. In circulated condition, they remain affordable and accessible, inviting new collectors into the hobby. That accessibility is part of their charm. Anyone can find meaning in them, whether they are casual admirers, serious collectors, or simply people with an appreciation for history in their hands. When you hold a 1997 D Liberty quarter dollar, you hold a piece of America's story. Its surfaces may be worn, but its message is unchanged. It is a symbol of continuity, resilience, and the simple beauty of everyday objects that connect us to the past. Even in circulated condition, the coin stands proud. Its eagle still spreads its wings, Washington still gazes forward, and its inscriptions still speak of liberty and trust. This is why the 1997 Liberty quarter dollar with the D Mint mark continues to inspire attention. Not because of rarity or high value, but because it embodies the life and spirit of a coin that truly served its people. And so, though worn by time and softened by use, it remains a small but powerful emblem of history, carrying forward the memory of a nation and the lives of the people who once depended on it. The 1997 quarter may look ordinary at first glance, but in circulated condition it has the ability to tell a richer story than a coin preserved in a case. Each dent, each small abrasion is a signature left by the countless people who once used it. If you run your fingers across its surface, you can feel the smoothness of years of handling. The sharp edges that once defined Washington's profile have softened, yet they are still there, holding strong. This resilience is part of what makes coins so fascinating. They are not fragile. They are built to last decades, and even in circulation, they hold on to their identity. The Denver Mint mark continues to draw interest. Collectors often compare coins from Denver to those from Philadelphia, studying subtle differences in wear, strike quality, and even tone. It's possible that this quarter traveled across several states, shifting from hand to hand, sometimes unnoticed, yet always serving its purpose. Imagine it resting in a vending machine, sliding into a toll booth, or being placed into a child's hand as allowance. These ordinary moments give the coin extraordinary meaning. When coins circulate, they absorb traces of history. The year 1997 saw cultural shifts, political changes, and the dawn of a new technological era. This quarter was present in that time. By 1997, the eagle reverse was nearing the end of its long journey. The design had been in place for nearly 7 decades, a familiar sight to generations of Americans. For many, the eagle represented strength and confidence, qualities deeply tied to the nation's self-image. The fact that it remained unchanged for so long shows its impact. Even when faded by circulation, the eagle's outstretched wings remain powerful. It is as though the image refuses to be erased, no matter how many years pass. The olive branch clutched in its talons offers a message of peace. Though the detail may be faint, the idea still shines through. The arrows in its other talon remind us of vigilance. Peace and readiness together created a balanced symbol that stood firm through decades. Inscriptions like E pluribus unum remain legible even in circulated coins, tying the piece to America's founding ideals. For coin enthusiasts, the charm lies in this endurance. Words and images survive wear, echoing the resilience of the nation itself. The circulated condition brings with it a unique aesthetic. The coin is no longer a mirror-bright object. It has a subdued tone, a patina that reflects its age. That aged look appeals to many collectors, who see beauty not in perfection but in character. Each worn quarter feels one of a kind. Some collectors even prefer circulated coins because they tell a story of use, unlike pristine examples that never left storage. The 1997 D quarter reminds us that coinage is living history. It does not sit untouched but moves constantly, linking people and places. Every person who held this coin unknowingly became part of its history. In that sense, coins unite strangers across time. By studying circulated coins, we can glimpse everyday life from another era. They are artifacts of commerce, transportation, and culture. The 1997 D in particular offers a snapshot of the United States before the millennium shift, a simpler time before the explosion of digital payments. Today, fewer people handle coins daily, yet back in 1997, quarters were essential. From laundromats to arcades, their role was central. This coin could have spun across a diner counter, jingled in a payphone, or rested in a tip jar. Such moments define its character. Even in worn form, the obverse still displays Washington's steady profile, reminding us of the leadership that shaped the early nation. Flanagan design remains one of the most recognized in U.S. coinage, a portrait that feels timeless no matter the year. Collectors know that while 1997 quarters are common, the story of each circulated piece is uncommon. Each has walked a different path. That individuality makes every example worth appreciation. The scratches are not flaws. They are history etched into metal. The Liberty $quarter of 1997 with the D mint mark stands as a reminder that value is not always measured in rarity or shine. Sometimes the true worth is in the journey. And so, when you hold a circulated quarter from 1997, you hold not just 25 cents, but a story of America, ordinary yet extraordinary in every way. When we think about a circulated coin like the 1997 D quarter, we are reminded that it is a working artifact. Unlike rare proofs hidden in collections, this coin lived among the people. The scuffs and light scratches across its surface are not imperfections to be dismissed but records of its service. Each mark is a footprint of a moment in time. The dulling of the shine adds depth to its character. While an uncirculated coin gleams, a circulated one whispers softly of its journey. It may have been part of a handful of change at a grocery store, or it may have helped a child purchase a toy from a claw machine. Each possibility adds charm. The Denver Mint mark plays an important role in the story. Millions were struck there, but each coin still managed to carve out a unique life. Denver quarters often circulated heavily in the West, but many traveled across the country. This means the coin in your hand may have crossed state lines many times. For some collectors, the satisfaction comes not from rarity but from the sheer connection to history through everyday objects. The 1997 quarter holds a place just before the transition to state quarters, making it the last chapter of an era that stretched back to 1932. This timing adds historical importance. Collectors see it as one of the final, classic eagle quarters before the dramatic shift in design. The eagle itself remains a bold statement of identity. Spread wings and fierce eyes made it an enduring emblem of American confidence. Though worn, its wings still curve outward with pride, symbolizing resilience through time. The reverse design balances tradition with simplicity, and even when faded, it maintains its authority. The obverse continues to feature Washington's strong profile. Despite circulation wear, the general shape and features remain recognizable. This design has become part of American culture, appearing in wallets and hands for decades without ever feeling outdated. Collectors often pause to admire how the portrait evolves under different levels of wear. A circulated coin carries a softer, almost gentle version of Washington. This softening creates a sense of humanity. Washington appears less like a statue and more like a living figure when seen on a well-used coin. The words surrounding his image survive well, even under circulation. Liberty and In God We Trust are rarely lost, remaining readable across time. The date, 1997, is often still clear. Even in heavy wear, this number roots the coin firmly in its era. For those who lived in the 1990s, holding such a coin feels like stepping back into their own memories. Arcades, payphones, and gas stations all required quarters. This coin may have been part of those moments, carrying nostalgia with it. Children often treasured quarters for video games or gumball machines. This coin may have been in the pocket of an excited child decades ago. Such small connections add a personal touch to an otherwise ordinary coin. The 1997 D is plentiful, but that abundance is part of its magic. It was a coin of the people for the people everywhere in daily life. Coins like this remind us that history does not always reside in rare treasures. It also lives in the common items that shaped daily routines. For many collectors, circulated coins provide the most authentic experience. They represent the real use of money, not just its design. The wear becomes a patina of history, a natural aging process that adds uniqueness to each coin. This individuality makes every quarter different, even if millions were minted. No two circulated coins look exactly alike. The Liberty $quarter of 1997 with the Denver Mint mark stands as an unassuming yet powerful symbol of its time. And even today, in circulated condition, it continues to carry the values, history, and spirit of a nation etched into its worn surfaces.